This installation was probably the smoothest that we've ever had. Well, we're a printing company, and we're a very technically savvy printing company. We're producing a lot of print on demand using a lot of automation. We started out as an implant for a seminar company, and this company held seminars for continuous education programs all over the country. Originally, the implant's purpose was to print direct mail to promote and get people to register for these seminars, and then we would produce the on-site materials on demand and ship them to the locations for them to use at the seminars. Our original owner purchased that implant and created Documation just about 25 to 30 years ago. No, not at all. We do a lot of soft cover perfect bound books, but we also do saddle stitching, plastic coil books, and we also still do direct mail to this day. When you start out doing both direct mail and on-demand books, there's quite diversity there. And so from there we got into printing for associations, which expanded our diversity even further. Perfect binding was an area that we felt we could exploit. We started working with more publishers, wanted bigger runs, those types of things, and we grew that business. Then we found that short run and print on demand was more the way to go, that market was probably a better area for us to see growth. And so that's where the technology came in. You know, we've evolved slowly over time, but really we made a big, huge change in 2018, which really paid dividends for us starting in 2019. Absolutely. At that time, we were trying to do all short run and on-demand work really conventionally and manually. We had to automate in order to survive in that area of the business. To really be able to produce the numbers of books efficiently, we had to change. The equipment is key. You got to be able to have the equipment that has the variability and the technology within it to be able to produce a book of one efficiently. And the technology of the equipment that we've purchased certainly gives us that. But you've also got to be able to feed that equipment, and we've come up with some very creative and innovative ways to feed this equipment through our own research and development and trial and error, our pain and suffering, to ultimately come up with the best workflows that can feed the technology of the equipment that we've got. We use several different pieces of software that we've patched together that all serve its different purposes. We've brought them together into a single workflow of our design to feed everything that we've got going on here. We feel it is, absolutely. You know, as I said prior, there's a lot of different ways to produce it. And so there is a fair amount of competition out there because everybody's been creative and finding new ways to do Book of One. So there are some big players in that industry of Book of One, and you're fighting against them all the time. It was certainly priced, but it's also turn time. And I feel, you know, something that's immeasurable, I feel, is customer service. And to be able to provide quality customer service is essential, particularly in the Book of One, because you're dealing with thousands of customers, really, in the end. We knew what we were in for, and you can lean on your vendors a little bit to share what their technology has to offer. You know, every manufacturer's got strengths and weaknesses to this type of technology. And all you can really do is see what they have to offer and see if it fits with your vision of how the workflow needs to go and what's going to give you the most efficiencies in your workflow. You know, when you're the first at anything, there's going to be more pain that you go through. And certainly Standard has stepped up 100% to help us through those struggles early on. But then even beyond that, things happen in the natural course of production that you don't anticipate. Electromechanical equipment, you've got electrical boards, you've got all sorts of stuff going on there. And I can call any one of the technicians that I know at Standard anytime, any day, and they will pick up the phone. And if they're busy, they will call me back in short order, and they will give us the assistance and the help that we need to get us running again. Well, this is the SB09V Perfect Binder, and it comes with, well, we purchased it with the HT1000V trimmer. It also has the CBF SB feeder on it, which allows you to feed the pockets in the Perfect Binder much easily. Instead of having to drop the book block into the Perfect Binding clamp itself, we can lay it on a conveyor belt that then feeds it into the clamps, which helps with efficiency. But the run speed on it and the ease of use is what really sets it apart. The trimming capabilities is huge, and it's overall operator friendly. Well, you know, at first, anytime you invest in anything, it takes a lot of thought, it takes a lot of investigation and analysis to see if that's what we need. But ultimately, if you want to grow and you need to produce more books, you need to produce them more efficiently, our owner has always been on the forefront of technology and being aggressive with putting new equipment. Once he was convinced, it's made all the difference in the world. This installation was probably the smoothest that we've ever had. We were producing pretty close to what we expected nearly immediately after installation. An older version, an SB07, a 7-clamp binder, doesn't have the automated feeding. The SB09's 9-clamp binder, similar run speeds, but newer technology, and the ease of use is definitely there. I disagree. I talk to people every day that say they want it in their hands. Young people that say this. You know, let's face it, most of the books that we're producing are educational. When people want to learn, they need something in their hand. You stare at a screen too long, you get a headache. There's all sorts of things that play into that, but I think people learn better with a book in hand.